This video is made for adult collectors because bro is an entire missile truck. This is gonna be a lot. So this is I'm already messing it up right at the beginning. That's fun. So this is TFC's take on a Rolling Thunder Optimus Prime, and by their take I mean they've taken it from Don Figueroa. This toy has a lot of stuff it does. It's solid as a rock, has die cast in all the right places, loads of paint, and is very, very big for about $160 US, and even less if you use today's sponsor discount. Yes, sponsor time. This was sent to me by TF Safari. They have a wide range of third-party and knockoff things on their site, like this and the green one. There's also loads of other cool things, so definitely go check them out. Links in the description below. And if you use code THATTOYGUYSPECIAL, 3% off. Yeah, I know. You save a few dollars on every purchase, which is nice. But thank you very much for sponsoring today's video. Now back to the actual toy. So in order to demonstrate everything you get for your 160, I'm gonna start with the small truck. And it's a nice little truck, really reminds me of that like War Within design, but with a more human feel, kind of flat and wide. It looks like a G.I. Joe vehicle. It's based off Don's unused design for a G.I. Joe Rolling Thunder Optimus, so it's a little bit different from the actual Rolling Thunder vehicle, but you can see the similarities. I love how solid it is, the way everything fits together and stays together very nicely. The paint job is wicked too. I dig the snow deco they're going with. Reminds me a lot of that RID Prime when he was this color. He has rubber tires and metal rims, which means he rolls extremely well, and he is just a heavy monster of a truck thing. Then you have all this stuff to adorn him with, all the bits and bobs, and bam, now you have a missile truck. And this is big, and the missile is so secure you can pick the whole toy up via the rocket. That's insane. He also has like hydraulic supports, which are metal and smooth to pull out and push back in. That's what she said. There is also now an extra set of wheels on the back that widen him up and give him even more traction, but sometimes they don't like to touch the ground. But that's all the truck really does, you would say. But you can open up this ramp on the side and, well, there you go. Now he has ramps for the tiny little vehicle he comes with. Now let's get him into the actual robot mode. So we'll go to small robot first, which means I don't need this. Put that away. And I don't need half of the bits on the truck, so we're going to remove them. Little vehicle. So this is where we want to start from, little vehicle. So what we're going to do is we're going to undo everything I just did on the legs. Open this up, bring this down and out, and then clip it into place. There we go. Just gotta find the tab first. Then we're gonna fold up the feet and flip out the heels, stand them up, split the leg, and just sort of get him in an A stance. Now we can do the upper body, like the legs. That was really easy. I'm surprised how easy this is for a third-party toy. It's very strange. So to start with here, we're going to open this section up. I think I need my brick separator again for this. There we go. Bring that up, and then take these sections and split them like that. They tab in several different places. But once you get that all separated, you open the cockpit up, fold this window thing in, there we go. And then we can bring this section out and just sort of flip this up, rotating these around while also rotating the waist. Then just take the wheels, shift them up, and then flip them into the torso. Now he looks kind of funny. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take this entire section right here, shift these down. You shift them all the way down until they are lined up. If you're off by a little bit, the torso will not peg together. There we go. Then you can take this section and clip it in to the obvious clip at the front, and then bring this down, peg it into place. Oh yeah, there's this little block right here that has to go into this section there first. Then you can sit it flush. There we go. Then you bring the head forward, you peg that into place, bring the head back, rotate the arms down, lift his eyebrows, extend the arms, bring them down, open this section up, flip out the fists into his robot. It's very easy to do. It is so incredibly simple once you understand how everything works that it's just fun to do. Little before I go any further, and this part, by the way, I paid for these, not a sponsored thing, so I'm okay with doing this in a sponsor video, but a box just arrived and I quickly wanted to show you what I got from Japan. So we got that. Brand new sealed Nitro Zeus. I'm going to keep this guy in box because, you know, I like Nitro Zeus. But then, everybody remembers this thing, right? You all remember this. I love this thing. I still have it. I will never get rid of it. I got another one. I got another one. And it was like, what, less than 50 bucks? And it came with the stupid certificate thing you get when you buy it. I didn't have this before. I have it now. I now have 2 of these. Yay! I'm probably going to keep this, but there's also my local shop. The guy really wants to see this, so I might actually take it in later on today and show him what this looks like because, yeah, this is cool. I like this. What a stomper. This thing is so solid to the ground. Like, this shit is not falling over. I adore the design, the paint, the little shiny bits of metal helping emphasize the scale of this dude. I also love how the vehicle parts become part of the robot, like the windshield shoulders and the way the wheels fold into the truck torso. The way that the front transforms is really satisfying once you get the hang of it. There aren't that many new details exposed, but the stomach section looks nifty. His shoulder assembly is like trigger happy hot rod shoulders, but not as bad, but it does take some getting used to and makes posing him kind of strange when you first get him. He does have a selection of weapons, a gun and a gun. This sniper is actually epic, and the scope, barrel, the other barrel, the magazine, and the stock can all come off. Bro's got his COD loadout. Actually, this is kind of the loadout I'd build, an assault rifle and a sniper, though I'd probably get shot.
Nothing there. Capturing Zone B.
I just like this pose. Anyways, let's get him out of it. Give me your sniper rifle. This is probably one of the best third-party toys I've ever messed with because of how nice it feels in the hand. So start with the head is on a ball joint. And then like a double hinge thing. So he can look down that far into his own chest. He can look up, oops, about that far. You can also close his eyebrows accidentally. I wish that pegged in. And then obviously there's tilt and swivel. The shoulders are the only part that's a bit strange. Why does my camera look so dark? The shoulders can rotate. Do a full 360. They can go out here. And then they can go out here as well, where they bump into the head. So when you're moving the arm out and you're like, oh, now I want to rotate the shoulder, you can't. So you gotta like fiddle with it. They also slide out a bit. It takes a while to get used to how these shoulders work, but you can get them into some pretty good poses. You have a bicep rotation, double jointed elbows. You have wrist rotation. Those ratchets are gonna play hell on the microphone. I just know it. And then you have individually articulated fingers, a ball joint at the base and joints at the knuckle. Basically, it does everything your human hand can do, which is awesome. He does have a waist joint that's a little bit loose on my copy, but not like, he can helicopter, but not like too much. You have an ab crunch that has some sculpted in detail and goes that far. You then have hip skirts that can go up and get out of the way to accommodate the legs. They can go forward that far. They can go back that far. And go out that far. You have a thigh rotation, double jointed knee, and then ankle pivot. The feet go forward like ever so slightly, but it's not enough to actually do anything. Very, very posable figure indeed. Well, let's make him even bigger. So for this bit, I've installed the new head, which you have to unscrew the old one to put this new one on. And then you can take this like face mask thing, clip it on, and it looks like Fallout power armor mask, kind of. Like that's what that looks like to me, but I like this on when it comes to the big giant armor set, which let's start doing that. So we're going to take the ramps, separate them, and just fold them up. And then these are going to slide. I always forget which way this goes. I did that wrong. So you pop those on like that. Now we take the legs and you want to attach them just like you would have in vehicle mode. So we're going to fold up the feet, make sure the ankle tilts are straight, and then just slot this section in just like that. Clip it into place. Do the same on this side. Get that all slotted in. There we have the legs all done. Now the arms. Rotate the fist 180 degrees and then fold it in. Then you want to take the arm panel here and we're going to fold out the fist. And then I like to rotate these inward a little bit just to give it a bit of difference. But you plonk it on like that and then you fold this over, close that up, and that's an arm. You also don't drop the other one on the floor. So that's basically the base robot finished. Now we're gonna get all of his little bits on. So these pieces snap on right here on the forearms. And then you can take the old side of the forearms and put them on here, which beefs up his arms quite a bit. We're going to take these sections and they're going to tab into the side of the shoulders to fill up his shoulder pads even more. Then you want to make his pee-pee get bigger. Yes. You take this, you put that there. There we go. Now you want to take these sections here and they'll just plug in to the shins. And then this piece will slide right over this at the back and then peg in to the back, because now we have to take the rocket. You can't even see the whole rocket. The tip comes off. The tip does something cool. So it becomes a little like tank thing, movable tank thing, or it becomes an arm-mounted sword, which is what I personally like. So I'm going to do the arm-mounted blade. That's that. So what you do is you take this section off right here, and then this will peg onto that, and there you have your arm-mounted sword. Now we're gonna do the backpack. So you take this big giant rocket here, and you split it open. There we go. And inside all this amazing detail, you can take the rockets out. And it's gone dark, it'll get a little bit again. What is wrong with my camera? I need to fix something. Anyways, you take these sections right here and you wanna flip them out like that on all four sides. And then you wanna split this and fold this around, and it's going to peg into several different spots along the side and at the top here. You sort of like gotta fudge it into place. There we go. And that's one all done. I'm not gonna sit through all four of them. So once all that's finished, oh, now the camera's brightened up again. You can plug this into the back, and there you go. That is basically the combine mode. I like to make sure the heels are touching the ground, otherwise he will fall backwards. And this is supposed to like plug into his back somehow, but it doesn't exactly work, so I just don't bother. Now that is epic. Weird Crossbones Gundam mode looks baller on this. Though the missiles are supposed to go on the arm, but I don't know. I'm assuming because the tooling's changed that doesn't work anymore. Because the instructions are the other prime, the green one, which has different like pieces, so it doesn't go anywhere. There's little missiles inside, but separating all this brings up one big issue I have with this toy. Paint chipping. There is so much paint on this guy. You have to be very careful in some parts, mainly attaching the legs, the arms, and the rockets. Everything else feels super durable and solid, but there are some areas where you're pushing plastic past paint. The top of the big missile can also, as I said, turn into an arm blade or a gun, which I think is awesome. He can also hold the guns again, but because of the extra armor, it's a little bit more difficult to pose, but it's not terrible. And like he has the same base posing as the original robot mode. New bits are exactly the same. And for combined mode, he comes with a new head and like a power armor looking mask from Fallout, which is neat. And he's pretty well balanced too with all this stuff on his back. Like you can give the table a shake and he won't fall over, but if you have the heels spread out a bit too much, he will fall over. Like it's a pretty cool toy for 160 and it's good value, I feel, for what you're getting. The articulation is nice, the feel is solid, the build is sturdy, and the aesthetic is just badass. I highly recommend it if you have the cash. But that's my look at Rolling Thunder Optimus. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.